So, apart from the Lima tomorrow, this is the last official BJJ class of the camp. So I thought I'd just do violent jokes because everyone feels great. So the purpose of this class is I may teach you jokes you already use. Hopefully I don't. Hopefully these are jokes you already have in your arsenal. I'm just going to teach you why they exist again. So my classes this camp, I've done 2 already. The first class was on sweeps, and that's pretty much just like how sweeps exist in this world, the core principles behind them. Second class was on guard, why guard exists, and how it's just wrestling, but with 4 limbs instead of 2. This last class is based on chokes. It's gi, nogi, or either. They're the same thing. So this one we're looking at the accuracy of the choke. I'm going to steal a lot from various coaches that I've had at the time. Partially Charles Harriott, he had a big influence on this class. Chelsea, Lee, Baybridge, Donna Barlow. I don't know which her name is. So she showed me in a camp many years ago, which I thought was kind of incredible. She competes about 50 kilos, which is from ATOS. She got a black belt from Galvao, trained at Half Men's gym, so her open mats were like Galvao, Keenan, JP Torres, the Mendes brothers. That sounds more like Killer's Road than an open mat. That sounds like terrifying. That was the open mat this room over to the left. So, yeah, we're going to look at the accuracy of chokes. The first one we're going to do is just the rear naked choke. I don't want anyone to squeeze this choke. This is one of my favourite classes to teach, just because people usually black out. I think that's hilarious. Kind of because if you've been doing jiu-jitsu for any amount of time, you become conditioned to the idea that you have to tap to pain. Like, so someone's like crunches your neck, you tap very fast due to the pain. When in fact, you can probably survive it. Then when you're in competition and the adrenaline's on, and you've just been conditioned to do chokes a certain way, eventually you'll choke someone who doesn't care about the pain and they won't go unconscious. And you won't understand why your choke isn't working. My favourite thing at this camp so far, I've learned up to this all week, is sticking my head in various chokes, letting people choke me, especially purple belts because I think they know what they're doing, and then just laughing when I leave because their chokes didn't work and they don't know why. And that's great. So the rear naked choke then, please don't back out. I won't stop laughing. This is directly from Charles. I'm pretty sure he's probably done this at camps as well. Again, this is the Nogi. I want to put a rear naked choke on, but I don't want you to put any squeeze into the choke at all. This should take maybe 8 to 15 seconds for them to tap. Okay? So, accuracy part, I want my elbow to sit directly in front of his windpipe. I want my bicep to be touching this front section of his throat here, just the side of his windpipe. Any further round, you start hitting muscle and spine. Okay? And it takes a lot more. That's more pain, that's more neck crank. That's why you hear a lot of complaints about Garcia's, it's more neck crank type feel. I want it to be no pain whatsoever, no squeezing. All you're going to do is just softly put pressure here. It's going to be weird because it's not going to hurt in a normal sense. So please be aware of your partner. They may black out. They may just sit there thinking, this isn't hurting at all. And then they black out, and we all have a big laugh. So sit directly in front of his neck, don't squeeze whatsoever, and just focus on where your elbow is, set yourself up, then wait. Am I squeezing? No. So this doesn't look like a rear naked choke you've ever seen before. This is very relaxed. Okay, but this is about accuracy, not squeezing. I'm just going to wait. Essentially, all I'm doing is closing with 2 straws. If I need all my body to close 2 straws, something's very wrong with my technique. If it requires all my muscles in this area crunching his neck to close what's essentially, 2 straws running up here, you're doing something horrifically wrong. Okay? So think of the accuracy instead. All I'm doing is just creating enough pressure for me to go like that. That's it. And with enough patience, he will black out. You will, the way it feels, because I've done this class a lot, it suddenly feels like your head is filling up like a balloon. Tap at that If you go, oh, this is fine, you won't. Okay? So that's the first part. Don't black out, please. I'll laugh, Stan will laugh. I'll even stop the class at the point of you if you're unconscious. Sit directly in front. You can even do it one hand if you want to. That's how little effort this takes. Just patient. Don't suddenly start panicking thinking you haven't got it. You have. If your accuracy is there, and you've got just enough to close the straw, you'll get it. There we go. Make sense? Feel it, don't back out, and we'll come back if you're away in 3 minutes. Okay? Make sense? Not make sense? Weird? Not weird? Yeah? Yeah, well, that's the point. Is accuracy trumps strength. If you can get your accuracy correct, this is jiu-jitsu. This is like, I want to know the purest form of jiu-jitsu. I always find it incredible. I have white belts and blue belts who rock up and they just start doing the maddest of shit. Like, they want an inverted spider, della, twister guard or whatever the fuck it is. I couldn't care less. I want to know, like, the most efficient way of doing the most simple stuff. I want to know the exact place I want to put my weight to explode your heart. Like, that's what I'm interested in when it comes to jiu-jitsu. The longer I've done it, the more intricate I want to see it. So I want to be able to do jiu-jitsu that takes no effort. I can add effort in afterwards. Anyone can add muscle in. That doesn't matter. I want to know jiu-jitsu where if I got accuracy perfect, I could do it with the most least amount of strength and you would black out. Does that make sense? So you can add strength after this, that's fine. But there's no point adding strength if you don't know what you're looking for in the first place. Because you could come across something where you are crunching up the neck and you're not hitting the right spot, you've just wasted all that strength and time and it's pointless. It's pure form of jiu-jitsu. So that's a rear naked choke. So essentially what we've done there is we've closed off this front section of the neck here. The second I go anything from that, you start looking at crunching the windpipe or crunching the side of the neck here. Your spine isn't flat and it doesn't sit at the back. It's obviously quite thick to the bone, okay? Which means it stretches quite far here, and that's why it gets quite tough as you start to go around. So that's why some chokes, when they start hitting that side of your neck, it just hurts. You probably will go unconscious. That's the head only chokes. So what we're going to look at then is the gi and why it's the same thing. There are gi and no-gi variations to most of these things. So don't worry if you haven't got gi on. You will be accommodated. So if I'm doing the gi choke here, again it's the same thing. I'm thinking of my accuracy. So on the one side, I've got the collar hitting his neck here. On this side, it's going to be the knuckle of my wrist. So again, there's a V sitting in front of his throat. Okay? So when you see like these back collar chokes and stuff like that, it isn't this hand doing anything involving his collar. There's no collar choke happening on this side. It's all based on this hand. The other hand is to stop him from rotating. Because if he just turns and follows this hand, he just turns around and look at each other, it's weird. I don't know, we're married now? I'm not sure. So the idea of this hand is to stop him from doing that. It pins him across. I don't care what I hold on to. He might. So it could be his hand, his leg, his gi. I don't really care. All I'm looking for is an accuracy on that choke. So on the one side it's my knuckle of my wrist, so I bring my hand out. On this side it's just his collar. And the V that I create is sitting again in front of his windpipe. So in theory I should be able to hold this right now, and he should go out again. So not go out, but tap. There we go. That's a collar choke on the back. It's nothing to do with like squeezing this with the hand. Okay? If you haven't got a gi on, you can do a no gi. That'll do, if you want to just practice it. But the only thing that separates a rear naked choke and a collar choke is the anchor that I'm holding on to. Okay? So the difference then between a gi choke and a no gi choke, the back of rear naked, is just where what I used to create the V and what I'm holding on to. So here's a collar choke. Here is a rear naked choke, rear naked choke, rear naked choke, naked choke. I don't know. rear naked choke. Doesn't really matter. As long as the action is perfect. I'll get him. So all I'm ever do is try and create a V. If I'm here, like too deep in the collar, and I just start pulling, I'm just jamming my wrist into his windpipe. That's not how you make friends, or make people black out. It's the same thing. So I don't want to go too deep in the collar, I just want enough that I can create that V. Now I want something that's going to stop him from rotating. So this is always like Preet's favourite party trick, is he lets people bow and arrow him. Do a bow and arrow like a or a normal jiu-jitsu person, they're the same thing. So if Henry's bow and arrow me, and my hands here, again, the idea is he's holding something, he's holding something that's going to stop the rotation, theoretically my knee pants, and the V is created by his hand here and my collar, and that's what's going to trigger. Meaning, if I just follow that hand and ruin the angle and ruin where that V is shaped, I should go to get out. So go for it. Ruin it, tackle it. Go on, get out. Cool. Okay, go for it again. He didn't kill my rotation. If I just rotate in that choke, nothing happens. However, if he was to grab my leg, actually grab my leg, get an underhook here, so I can't now rotate. You can now do a simpler pressure. Over here. Does that make sense? Cool point. So try it. Try different anchor points. If you have a V on, you can use the collar. Again, you just look to create a V here. The windpipe should be unaffected. And you just hit in this front quarter. You have V on, use collar. If you don't have a V on, use hand, ears, areas, collarbone, I don't really care. But just see about that accuracy. Okay? If you've ever get a chance to do Preet's back defense pass, like his rear naked choke defense pass, he just turns, okay? Because no one's good at stopping rotation when you've got the back. Unless you actually understand the importance of it, you don't care. The hooks are kind of useless. Go to the camera, do it for a rear naked choke. See? Record Brad's if I go around here and I can kill this angle here and put my shoulder here. Because all again, that always is hitting the side of my neck here. It's going to hurt. Don't put your head in the rear naked choke. It's hard. If I can survive this, you have to stop that rotation. So actually, when I start to do rear naked chokes, now especially in my gym, because everyone just fucking spins, I actually use my elbow and drive down to the collarbone here. So I sit that in front, and I drive down. So now you can't turn, and now they're stuck. And that makes sense. So actually make something out of that other hand to actually kill rotation again. That makes sense? So again, go away, feel it, create V's with various things. Gis, Nogis, sleeves, legs. Be inventive. Off you go. Does it make sense? That makes sense? Sorry, you'll make more. Okay, this is a predominant idea when it comes to jiu-jitsu. This idea of hitting both sides of the windpipe and not the windpipe itself. Next one to do that is the baseball / paper cutter. Same choke, just different sides of the arm. Again, really inventive. Two-point man, one of Browder's first black belt. It was a really cool version where you just used the collarbone and Nogi for this. Quite sadistic, actually. So the difference between a bow and arrow and not bow and arrow, baseball bat and a paper cutter is in a paper cutter, I have something that kills rotation. This hand here, I'm going to put my thumb inside his gi. I'm going to create the V again. I'm not going to go all the way in deep here and just like slice through his windpipe. I'm not an asshole, I want jiu-jitsu. Shut up. So I put my thumb in, I'm going to create pain on one side with his collar, and then put my wrist on the other side, and make him look at it with this arm. There. If he was to kill the rotation, if he was to just like look back at me, here, no choke. It's gone. That's why I think it's might be Simon Hayes from Castle Gracies in London. Does a really cool version of a stack pass. Pretty much using the exact same idea. If I can stop you from rotating and can grab hold of your collar, this can happen. And so gets the stack pass, creates here, and because you control your hips, and you can't come back and fight it, he gets the exact same choke. He's put his arm in, create a bite on one side of your collar, on the other side, he's using his wrist, kills your rotation with your legs instead of your arm, gets the paper choke. Baseball bat is just the same choke on the other side of the arm. So if this is a paper collar, this is a baseball bat. It's the same idea. This is creating a V in front of his neck, and this is stopping him from looking towards me. So I'm just creating the bar in front of his face, and I create my V. There. If he can get rid of this bar and face towards me, no choke. That's how baseball bats work. So you can figure that out. Those horrible baseball bats at the bottom, like Clark Gracie, you can kill someone with it, or got killed with it. If you can figure out the rotation issue, you can kill baseball bats quite easily. And also means you can do them in Nogi. There you go. Doesn't matter what you hold on to. Like the same paper, I could hold on to his collarbone here, create that same V, there you go. Sadist.
Show the Nogi version
Of the baseball?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, use that. Wherever I can, so I'm creating a bar in front of his face, so he can't look towards me. I'm just going to create a V in front of his neck again. There's a really cool video of a guy who does it from like standing at the bottom of the side control. He's using the exact same idea. He pretty much creates this behind your head, creates a bar so you can't look, and creates a V in front of your windpipe again. There's a really cool video about 5 years ago, this guy's knocking out everyone with this joke. But it's the same logic. Right, I'll do the Nogi version. Again, create a V here and stop it from looking at it. That's a baseball or a paper collar. Just the other hand. And don't let it look at it. Just arm. I don't care how you do it. Jiu-jitsu is chaos. That should work. Make sense? Try it. So it's the exact same logic. We're creating a rear naked choke in front of his neck, just with a different angle. So one of the things I want to do with this is the idea of side effect training. Because I've broken down how these chokes work, and there's always a rotation killer and something that creates the V in front of the neck. If you can understand that with a lot of these chokes, you can kill the choke really early on. Because say if someone's on your back, the second any arm appears from the back, it's already dictated which way you should turn. Gi and no gi. That's why I like to understand the gi and no gi. So if Henry's on my back, yeah, I know he does. If Henry's arms are behind him, the second arm appears right in the front, I know which way to turn, because that's I'm just going to be trying to create a V. If an arm appears underneath, I know I should be turning away from it, because that arm is going to try to stop me from rotating. So I can sit here, play as much as I want, second arm comes round, I turn that way. Now there's no way to create an effective V in front of my neck, gi or no. Okay? So like any bow and arrow and stuff like that, you have to, at a high level, you have to stack these things on. You can't just like hold on to the collar, like Henry gets hold of this. You can't just hold on to that and expect him just to sit there and fight the grip off. There's no way I'm going to win against this grip if he's got a really good hold on to my collar. It's just not going to happen. By lifting my arms, I'm about to make it easier for him to kill my rotation. But then I can hold on to something. I don't want him to have it kill my rotation. The second he holds on to my collar, I'm just going to turn. It's now his job trying to find my back again to make that big. Not my problem. That was like the greatest issue in my gym when we started doing this, especially against him, because I had to surprise him. I had to throw my hands at the same time, and so he couldn't run away. This should render clock chokes obsolete. Get a clock choke. Here, I create the V, and I stop him from rotating. I don't know, hold the gi jacket, the far lapel, hold the inside of the thigh, I don't know. and then just find a tightening my arm and get the pot choke. If I don't have something that kills his rotation, and he just drops to the side of the floor, what point was that? Choke's dead. Send the helicopter choke. Sorry. Here. Is that I'm holding onto his arm so he can't rotate. If I didn't hold onto his arm here, he just goes spin again. So the second I look around his neck, you already dictate which way he should have gone. So go back in, I'll do the flying cool shit. The second this happens, this makes white belts super hard to tap sometimes. So don't do it right away because you don't want to fly kick you in the face. Not entirely. As I go around, if he just stops it from grabbing this and rotates, nothing happens. So it's dead. Defense pretty much every key choke you're welcome. Does that make sense? So any choke that comes around like that, which is going to find an anchor point, someone's going to kill the rotation. The second arm appears, it already dictates which way you should go, and just go that way. Look into the choke. Don't look away from the choke. You're an idiot that way, you deserve to black out. If you get confused, there's a real simple rule. If you're blacking out, you're going the wrong way. If I go this way, it's like, oh, I feel good. If I go this way, oh no, this is bad. You don't need to come find me afterwards and ask which way you should go. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you're in a paper corner,
I'm not good at these.
oh, you shamed me.
Yeah, well.
Here, if I turn this way and I start to black out, this is the wrong way. If I go this way and I don't black out, this is the right way. It's pretty obvious. Like, let's figure it out. Baseball bat. Go get. He's like, here. If I go this way, I die. If I go this way, I live. Make sense? Don't hold conversations while you're being choked. Rule number 1 of Globetrotter Camps. Does that make sense? Any questions on what I've gone through already?
You have to roll into the choking arm.
Yeah, whatever way the arms come round, just get curious about what his armpit smells like. That's literally it. The only thing you need to remember. So just not random. Just like follow that smell and you'll be out. Chokes are so simple. If you want to try that, try some of those like head-only chokes. Not guillotines, different beast. We'll do those anyway, arm chokes. But those kind of chokes there, if you want to do clutch chokes, helicopter chokes, those kind of things, don't defeat the hand that's choking you, defeat the hand that's stopping you from rotating. Defeat that hand and just follow the arms thinking. And you'll be out. Have a few goes of that, enjoy, play. We'll come back in 2 minutes. Off you go. Does that make sense? That makes sense? I hope it makes sense. Second part of this then is looking at where the arm gets involved. There's pretty much 2 types of chokes in jiu-jitsu. There's where the arm isn't involved, so we just got hold of someone's head, and the other side is you have hold of their arm as well. So head arm chokes, darces, anacondas, yada yada yada. The one we'll look at is the arm triangle and the triangle. Pretty much the exact same choke if you understand how they work. I want to make the triangles better. When I first started learning arm triangles, it was always the age-old grab up the bicep, put your hand on the head or whatever, on your arm, just squeeze. If you wanted to stop that from happening, you had answer the phone, you make them hang up, and all the kind of stuff that came from that. That's obsolete, you don't need to worry about it. So, do the bottom flip as well, same time. Thank you. You look so cheery. I've told the mic stand. Yeah, so the arm triangle, again, I want to think of my accuracy. I want to make sure that one side, the top of my biceps, that shoulder, is pinching onto this part of his neck. On the other side, I want to lift his entire shoulder structure into this front section here. So, this isn't a choke. If you do this to yourself, you won't feel any bite on this front section of your arm. If you do this, kind of still miss it. But if you just leave your arm here and now lift from your lap forwards, up, and just slide it in there. Now you start to feel something horrible. Okay? That means we're poorly designed as creatures. We choke ourselves out. It's just like a that's terrible design. That's what I want to do to him. So this whole thing about pushing his arm across his neck, if he does this, it stops the choke. Bullshit. So I want to make sure my elbow stays on the side, just simply because of the accuracy problem. I want my bicep touching this front part of his neck here. On the other side, I'm not just trying to push his arm across or run around or all the other crazy stuff I see people do. I want to be able to lift his entire shoulder structure up off the floor and pinch that front corner of his neck here. So all I'm going to do is actually just grab where the lat should be. And, sorry. And look, and just move that in front of his neck here. There you go. So now this whole squeezes down. What I have to do is find that lowest point where his lat should stick out, lift it, and then just edge that into the front of his neck. That's it. So when I do actual arm triangles that matter, I'm going to try and connect the top of my chest here to that lower part of his lat, exactly where my hand just was. And use that to push out in front of his neck. But when it works, put something behind his shoulder to keep it elevated. I usually just get this way. Doesn't matter what the reviews are, it works for me. My elbow stays on the floor, it's lifted, so you lose the angle. On the shoulder, lifted, and lift that front quadrant down. The reason I'm doing this, breathe, is I want you to be able to get into chokes and examine them. Why they might not be working. Now if you're here, and you're squeezing, you're pushing his arm across his neck here, and nothing's happening, are you doing what you should be doing? Are you moving that front part of his entire shoulder into that front part of his neck? This is how I've been showing triangles since I arrived. I'll show you that next. So find his neck. Find black-ish. There you go. On triangle. Move your hand, and do your chest. Make sense? Feel it? Yeah. That makes sense? It's weird. It's quite an odd one to feel. It actually starts so low. It's always so much like you have to drive down across the neck and just squeeze. It's much more simple than that. If you use the same logic, it makes your north-south arm triangles way easier. So when I'm doing my arm triangles, I'm starting down here. So I make sure it's nice and deep, and my chest makes a connection here. I want to take everything with me. There you go. And make sure that creates a nice bite on his lat and everything comes up at the same time. I'm not getting to here and then pushing it across. Inefficient. That's not how you choke someone. That's just putting the arm across the face. It takes a lot more squeezing. Inefficient jiu-jitsu. Here, I just start nice and low against his, so my chest here is touching there. Create my bite. There you go. Should take too much effort. Make sense? Exact same motion we do the north-south version, aka falling darts. So here's my darts. He drops his back, so I can't do it. So go nice and forwards. There you go. Same idea. Create a bite around his neck here, and I just grab as much shoulder as I can, just pull it back into his neck. Make sense? Yes?
About the north-south choke, just the neck.
There you go. Make sure again my shoulders sitting on that one corner of his neck. I want to look into the choke. I want to look. Once I point his neck and set the next technique I'm about to breathe. If he looks away from it, again it's just hitting at the wrong side of the neck. It's hitting here and stuff like that. So I want to be able to push his face into the choke and then use my rib cage to sit in his other artery. One of my favourite chokes this camp, in general, it's so funny, is this arm triangle. Where I'll sit here in like a reverse kasa, use my elbow to like drag your shoulder in front of your neck, put my hip bone in your other artery, and then just sit there till you black out. Arm triangle again, just a really modified version of it. Cool, loads of time. Previous late. So where does this then mix in with the actual triangle? Where is it? I had a blue button. It's just blue, purple button. Can I borrow you, sir? Hi. Henry, if I black out, you get my black belt. Not really. I want to triangle. Not like any extra shit. I don't break my arms and like do mad stuff. Just triangle.
Doesn't work, is it, to be honest?
Go for it. Let's see what happens. Who's there? That shouldn't have been something I should do. If you can put your head in a purple box triangle, it'll be fine. It's something else wrong with the triangle. No, it's just to get us understanding of how to show the character. Thanks. I always got the punch up on that one.
Still the small one.
Okay, the reason that didn't work. Same logic again. Is what actually happened, if I just take this off so you can see my throat. The reason the triangle works, same logic as what we've done before. So on one side, it should be hitting this artery. On the other side, it should be pulling the shoulder forwards and neck. So this whole thing like this takes way more effort. In fact, you want to be able to drag the shoulder forwards and cause the reaction that way. But I also looked into it. So again, on the one side, the leg goes around the neck. If I look this way, it's going to hit my artery. If I turn, it's now hitting my spine. So the reason I looked at the show here is because on one side, it's just hitting my spine. And on the other side, I've completely taken my throat out of it. Here. First here, I've done. Because I did this, if I look into it, I'd be absolutely fine just chilling triangles for a long time. And this is what I got from Chelsea. God, I'm incredibly vastly changed how I looked at jokes. So exact same thing what we just did with the triangle. Arm triangle. So this whole thing about like you have to get the arm across the neck and like madness and angles and there you go. Madness. You paid my cheeky Graysons. Trying to make you pay more money. So my triangle, first thing I want to do then is make sure I'm actually hitting the right part of the neck. There we go. If it looks this way, I'm just hitting this spine. I'm hitting this back area here. Nothing's going to happen to it. But watch what happens here. Jiu-jitsu. No madness there. I just changed what I was hitting. And on this arm here, when I do it, I actually create a bite. I don't think Nogi does rolling, I'm just going to do it for demonstration purposes. I create a bite the exact same way I did my arm triangle just. I'm going to dig my knee into his lat here. So in theory, there you go.
Were you able to move his head, or do you do it like tight long style and then move his head? Because
It's amazing how little resistance someone can have in their head if you just grab the fucker. Now they're expecting so much more. Their heads in triangle if you go, Josh. We have the right idea. That's what I meant. Like, I can, or again, the idea of this is to look, to be able to examine your jiu-jitsu and know why it isn't working. Like you were like punishing my neck where on the second ago, and he was like, "This isn't going to work. Like, why is this working?" Well, it's very simple. It's an accuracy problem. So on this side, I don't want to just like get across here. I actually prefer when that shoulders wide, it gives me more to bite onto. It's amazing when they do this like this. Because look, it gives me masses of things to like bite into. There we go. Same if someone does like the answering the phone. Bollocks. If I'm here and he's like answering the phone, He's giving me like a bigger thing to bite onto. Brilliant. Fantastic. Send Eddie Bravo love that. If you were looking at trying to get the arm across the throat, yeah, it's going to kill it. But if you don't understand actually how choke works, and about bringing the shoulder structure in, then yeah, it's going to kill your choke. But if you understand about actually bringing everything forwards, brilliant. I like it when people do kind of stupid stuff like that. You'll feel it now, you'll find it. If I'm here and I can drag, I bring in my knee this way.
You stay straight in the triangle because you're pretty straight and not really angled.
No, that's easy. Yeah, I create the angle. I create the fight and the shoulder. There we go. But it means that I might not be able to do this in slow motion, actually like getting the triangle, I might just snatch the triangle out. It might be a case of, got him. Right there. There we go. I'll examine what's gone wrong and go, right, I'm going to fix this. Right, so take some angles, put some forward momentum this way, exactly central with an arm triangle, and there's my choke. Yeah, feel what happens when you get here, get this nice little thing going on, and pull your knee forwards. And then look what happens when you do this. There's no shoulder to bite onto anymore. It's a lot harder. Actually, it was better on people with big shoulders.
So if it's with the shoulder, that kind of tucked in, do you then make the angle?
Yeah, if you touch your shoulder in here, like, it's great. There you go.
If you have the arm crossed,
Yeah.
If his arms crossed, actually put it back out there. If I get to here, I'm just like, oh shit.
So no angle then if his arms are crossed, just
No. Again, business started putting those crazy angles in, like AOG started doing it like 10 years ago. That's all stupid stuff.
yeah.
Shit, okay, let's figure this out now. That probably bite shoulder level, is that one? Has to be like a proper like grunting kind of choke now. This takes no effort. But as soon as you understand this, you make some really cool like choke stuff and actually figure out why stuff doesn't work. I couldn't do this. I'm going to run 5 minutes over, I'm sorry. If you want to leave at 8, I understand. But I'm going to give you a prize for staying on. Yeah, feel the triangle, change the angle so that they're hitting this front part of the neck, and then look what happens when the shoulder's not there, it's across here, and when it's wide, you can just pull it forwards like that. And you look at how much that changes the triangle. When people start doing this over plattery stuff or digging their elbow in, great. It's so cool. Off you go, feel it. It works. Okay, so I'm going to show a technique quite shittily. That's the word. And you're going to go away for like 2 minutes to try and figure out how to fix it. And the technique is the inverted triangle from bottom side. So, using what you have learned about angles and dragging the shoulder, fix this monster. You ever seen it before? Your bottom side control, put their arm through your legs, push their head through your legs, goes up, finish. 2 minutes, converse with your partner, and what will be the most effective way of finishing this joke. There's a big problem with this joke. You're doing this conceptual idea of how to finish jokes. You're rolling, and you've got me in an arm triangle from out, and I roll to my side. And just from understanding this idea of accuracy, then completely inventing a choke, semi-arm triangle, and finishing with it. Show you it? I was like, damn, stuff works. So you're rolling, got an arm triangle on me, and I roll to my side this way. And he's thinking, oh shit. So he moved his arms to here, and was cobra stretched in. It didn't choke anyway. That's right. That's what jiu-jitsu is. It's going to fix these stupid problems. Anyway, I love them giving that chokes that already exist that you might not get. It just takes infinite effort and abandon it. Super simple to fix if you understand what so the problem with this one is the V, what we want created from this windpipe, is on the complete wrong side of his head. So the view of my knee here is at the back of the spine, which means the 2 impact points are like the 2 corners of the spine here. Nothing's going to happen. There's like, with a play just, you try and grab their face and, claw ride their face back in place or something. But again, it's not how you make friends, it's not jiu-jitsu. So I need to find a way of getting something on that front corner here. The second problem then is getting his shoulder in the right place that's going to dig in front of his windpipe. If I start just doing this, there's no way I'm going to generate enough strength by holding his hand to pull that I'm going to do anything. And it's still the wrong part of his neck, just pulling his arm in front of his throat. It's not what I want. So instead, with this leg here, I'm going to kick it up in front of me. Because now, this part's an access to his neck. And here, I'm going to kick this leg towards you. And there's my problem. So, no hands, no face, dragging, doing horrible. I looked at the problem, I thought, that's not going to work. Cool, let's go underneath. So, make sense? Try that and see if it fixes it. Next time, I'll show you again. See if I've got it. Pick up the floor. There's a few people that I'm going to turn them up.
You have to pull it, otherwise if it's here, it's not good. You have to pull it.
Just like here, I really kick him hard with this one to try and get underneath it. I want to really go through here. Because now look at the angle. This stays tight, and I can close. Almost underneath it, right over here. From towards his neck, this side, the angle's all messed up. So actually go towards his body. Kick him up. If you're going to say to me you haven't got long enough legs, you're a liar, I didn't have to close mine. Once more, off you go. Time! I'm so sorry. It's been an hour, so that's fast. I believe it's open now until 9 o'clock. Am I correct? Yes, sir. If you had more time, I had Ezekiel chokes, flu chokes, many gifts to give. I imagine you just want to kill each other. So tomorrow, if you come and find me with man, his name chokes, you're just like, how does this work? I'll answer it happily. I'll let you try and choke me and fix it together. Or anything else I taught this week, or anything I haven't taught this week. But yeah, thank you for your time. I've really enjoyed this class. You all look really red-eyed and no one blacked out. That's a good review on my part. Yeah, we'll get one last hand forward and then main kill destroy. Thank you.